And welcome into 19 at noon. I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley, tuning in for the first time by myself, so bear with me as I walk you through the next few days here in this first alert forecast, which, keep in mind, we're kind of riding a roller coaster over the next several days. The good news is that you've been tuning in the last few days, there has not been a lot of change, but if you're just now brushing up on that forecast, well, let's just get right into it because it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster, like I mentioned. So right now we're at 52 degrees out there in the Turfway action cam. So keep in mind, this action cam does a really good job of showing if, hey, the winds are pretty strong. You might catch this camera shaking just a little bit. And then, hey, there it is. Right on cue, right? Just a little bit of shaking out there with those windy conditions. But to pair with it, of course, mostly sunny skies, deep blue skies, some high cirrus clouds here and there as well. Overall, nothing too impactful in the weather department, but as soon as you step outside, you're going to be greeted by those heavier wind gusts. So while you have the low 50s right now, knocking on the door of 60 degrees later on this afternoon, beautiful day to be outside. Eating outside, hold on to your napkins, folks, because of course, those things will have a run for their money, quite literally. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments. We are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube as well. More than happy to answer them to the best of my ability as I continue here on 19 at noon. Other temperatures across the viewing area, well, yeah, they do include a little bit more of those warmer temperatures just all across the board. You see 50s. Warmest spot, the hot spots, if you will, Harrison, Florence, and Dry Ridge in the mid to low 50s. Yeah, not too shabby out there. 49 in Hillsborough and 48 there in Maysville. Overall, pretty normal right now. And then temperatures are going to keep on climbing. And a lot of it has to do with these winds too. So yeah, these winds are pumping in just some nice warmer air that we've been seeing the last couple of days. Today, we are under that wind advisory. Everywhere you see in the beige color, that's where we're seeing the advisory, which started at 10 o'clock this morning, will continue to about 7 p.m., and that's because we're seeing wind gusts up to about 50 miles per hour, and we're talking sustained winds around 20 miles per hour. So again, just kind of hold on to your hats, folks. I mean, plenty of sunshine out there. We're looking at the low 50s, a wonderful day to take advantage of, especially because the weekend on tap is real cold. We're talking a high of 60, low 60s here in Cincinnati for today. Well, tomorrow we're staying in the 30s. So we're almost slicing that high temperature in half. So, I mean, the winds, definitely the big weather story of the day today, but tomorrow, hey, it becomes the cold real quick to welcome in the month of March. Here's those wind gusts as they stand right now at 12:03. Our gustiest wind, if you will, being reported in Florence as well as Hillsborough, 29 miles per hour. We're still climbing in intensity with these wind gusts right now. Like I mentioned a few seconds ago, up to about 50 mile per hour wind gusts are on tap there for the afternoon today. And yeah, it's going to knock down those temperatures a decent amount heading into the weekend. So I also want to bring in our forecast model to show you exactly when that's going to happen. Again, kind of on the ride home. So that commute, of course, I don't need to be the one to tell you, both hands on the wheel with 40 mile per hour wind gusts, the isolated 50 mile per hour wind gusts, it just cannot be ruled out. Now, as we talk so much about these wind gusts, we also need to talk about how they're going to be shifting into the weekend, because as we see this slight little, what looks like a front, try to press through the area, it's going to drop those temperatures, maybe drop a little tiny bit of snow. Not enough to accumulate, just enough to say that it happened. Wind gusts are going to become less and less of an issue as the weekend goes on, of course. So just something to keep in mind. Satellite and radar right now, very quiet. We have those high cirrus clouds. If you compare radar to yesterday, not tracking any hail, not tracking any rain, just a lot of deep sunshine there for your afternoon. Here's looking ahead. About 4 o'clock this afternoon, here's the 60s. Many of us going to be breaking into the low 60s around this time. And your dinner time temperatures, again, not too bad at all. In the upper 50s, if you have any outdoor plans today, definitely take advantage of it, especially as we're starting to wrap up chilly week here in Cincinnati. It's a great day to do it. As we see the overnight arrive, if you will. Those temperatures, they're going to start to drop just a hair, not too dramatically, until we see the passage of that little cold front. Notice, I'm going to back this up for you because I want to show you the difference between what 6 p.m. tonight looks like and then 6 a.m. on Saturday is. All right, so find where you live, find your spot. I'm going to look here at Cincinnati. 57 at 6 o'clock tonight. How about 6 o'clock in the morning for Saturday? There we go, 32 degrees. Some of us are going to try to slice those temperatures in half in 12 hours. And those winds are going to pick up in order for that to happen. And yeah, maybe even a little bit of snow will try to come in. You see it right above the banner here. Just some light leftover lake effect snow all the way from Lake Michigan will be able to trek into the northern part of our viewing area. Again, these showers losing steam as they trek across Indiana, as they trek across northern Ohio. Not going to pose too much of an impact there to any of your Saturday plans. I'd say the biggest thing heading into the weekend is still going to be that cold. But, of course, we want to give you that first alert that you might be accompanied by a little bit of snow. And notice that the structure of this, I want to point it out to you because, I mean, we're having a good, decent amount of lake effect look to this, right? I just think it's interesting, especially coming in from the Great Lakes area, seeing this happen so far south of where I used to live. It's starting to impact where I am now. So yeah, maybe I did bring a little bit of lake effect snow to you guys. Just enough, right? 32 in the afternoon there for Saturday, so we're not seeing too much impact from the sun, the heat of the day. We're seeing pretty steady temperatures throughout your Saturday. We're waking up in the low 30s, and your forecast highs are in the mid to low 30s. So once again, the cold. That is what is going to be the big weather story of the weekend. Not so much about the snow. I just wanted to tell you that you might see it, especially if you're traveling up 75, up 71, even out towards Indianapolis. You have an increasing chance of heading out the door to a little bit of snow. Nothing on the ground, of course, but enough to have the windshield wipers maybe moving a little bit. Not a big snow by all means. Tomorrow is March 1st, if you can believe it. That means today, as of today, we got 20 days until spring. And then tomorrow is the first day of meteorological spring, if you can believe it. I know, it's crazy that we're saying it. All right, so we'll go ahead and get into some comments here real quick. We have Darla. Hello, Erin. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you, Darla. Hope you are having a fantastic day. Happy Friday to everyone tuning in. Hello, good afternoon. Hi, Jeff. Good afternoon to you as well. Those are the only comments I'm seeing right now. Again, if you have any questions about the forecast, or I know I'm still new, so I'm happy to clear up anything about me as well. Let's talk a little bit more about this weekend forecast because it's something worth talking about, right? Because we're seeing temperatures knocking the door of 60 degrees today, Friday the 28th, and then by tomorrow, 36 is going to be the forecast high. Ugh, I know. We're waking up to a little bit of snow falling from the ground. Again, the big thing is going to be what you see here. 36 degrees. We will see increasing sun as the day goes on for Saturday. So if you're trying to find out, hey, I want to have plans with my friends, lunch or dinner, I'd choose dinner. It's still going to be cold. You just might have a little bit more chance of having that sun greeting you as you head out to said dinner plans. So that's just my opinion. Of course, you do whatever the heck you want. That's okay, because tomorrow, relatively not too much of an impact day. It's just the cold, right? We're waking up with temperatures a lot colder than what we woke up to today. 32 by 10 o'clock in the morning. Lunchtime temps in the mid-30s. Your dinner time temps also in the mid-30s. You just might have a little bit more sun there towards tomorrow afternoon. So Saturday, yeah, it starts off with a little bit of snow, but we do see extra sun towards that second half of the day. That does mean that the night is going to be very clear, pretty clear. It's also going to allow those temperatures to drop. Stargazers, you're going to love it. Have the blanket, maybe two, because these temperatures are dropping pretty cold, right? I want to show you what those wind chills look like here as well, because I was talking so much about the winds just a couple minutes ago. It's going to play a factor in how these cold temperatures this weekend actually feel as you step out the door. So here's what we're waking up to with those feels like temperatures, aka the wind chills. This is 6 o'clock Saturday morning, 18. You got the teens there in our northern viewing area, Hillsborough, Wilmington, Batesville, and Connorsville, Lebanon as well. Yeah, you just can't rule it out. We don't see a ton of relief throughout the day. I mean, yeah, we're going to start to feel better into the mid-20s for those wind chills, but again, nothing spring-like there for March 1st. And then as soon as we see those skies clear, as soon as we see them clear, look at this. This is Saturday at 9 o'clock. If you have any late Saturday evening plans, bundle up. Even the slightest breeze will make it feel like the low teens in our northern parts of the viewing area towards Connorsville, even Middletown and Lebanon, and then we're waking up to a pretty similar feel as well on Sunday. So of course there's two sides to this weather story, in which the days are going to be nice and sunny in your weekend, but that also means temperatures are going to be really cold for any of those late night plans, both for Saturday and for Sunday. So just something to keep in mind as you plan about your weekend. All right, go ahead and welcome on in some of our other viewers. Hi, Andrew. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. Jeff saying, I love snow. I ask about it a lot. I bug Steve and Ethan about it a lot. That's okay. See, I'm the kind of person, Jeff, you guys are all going to realize, where it's like, hey, if it's going to be cold, it might as well snow. Even if it's just a little bit. I'm not a fan of like the huge snow, but enough to be like, hey, it actually looks kind of nice outside. It looks like it should be snowing, and it feels like it should be snowing. Sharon, hello from Indiana. Sharon, hello from Cincinnati. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. We got Keeman. Hi, Erin. Welcome to the Fox 19 team. Very happy to be here. Thank you so much. Right now the time is 12:12. Still talking about your weekend ahead because, hey, we've almost made it, folks. We've almost made it. I do want to talk a little bit more about the extended forecast because the roller coaster doesn't just stop after the next 3 days, right? We have the winds today. We got the cold Saturday and Sunday. We got the sun in between. But next week, we're tracking another warm up into another storm system, in which we want to give you that first alert. Your midweek, especially Wednesday, could bring our next chance for some thunderstorms, gusty winds, maybe some hail as well. I'm not seeing anything that's sounding the severe weather alarms quite yet, though it is starting to be a little bit more spring feeling outside, so it's not something we can rule out at this time. Of course, we see that every time that a storm system tries to knock on our door, but a lot of that threat has to do with the temperatures coming into it, the storm coming into the storm on Wednesday, and the temperatures coming out of it. Pretty drastic in that 7-day forecast. So let's go ahead and see those temperature trends. I'm bringing you, this is today at 1 o'clock. You see the timestamp in the top right corner of your screen. Yeah, 61 degrees within the next hour, definitely reasonable for several of our viewing area communities. And then Saturday, there it is, 36 degrees. I talked about that. We've talked about that. You know it's coming. The mid-30s for your weekend. Sunday, a little bit more sun, so hey, a little bit more heat, but not a lot, upper 30s for that forecast high. And then here's Monday, starting to feel more normal by Monday. I do want to bring your attention to what's coming in south and west of our region entirely. Look at this, 80 degrees in Oklahoma City at the same time that we're in the mid-40s. That warm air is gonna come on in. It's not gonna be 80 degrees. Oh my goodness, it is not gonna be 80 degrees. But look, I mean, that's just another way of showing you guys that warmer air is on the way. Upper 50s there for Tuesday. Not too bad. Might start to see the, what's the word? The leading edge, that's what I'm looking for, of this bigger system. A little bit of rain for the lift of that warm front. And then we'll start to park in for this little warm sector in which, hey, we're gonna have some dry time to enjoy the low 60s for your Wednesday. I brought you to Wednesday here on the temperature trend map because this is the active day in which We're seeing the low 60s here in Cincinnati, but right behind it is going to be the mid 40s. And that is what is going to be that cold front, what that's going to be. And bringing with it some thunderstorms. That's going to be for Wednesday afternoon and evening that we're watching for anything that might be on the stronger side. Again, it's these spring storms, if you will, so nothing can be ruled out. It's also several days out. So as a responsible meteorologist, I just want to give you that first alert that, hey, we're watching. And the good news is that for our viewing area is that the severe threat is seen where there is a bigger temperature difference, which is farther south, right? I mean, I'll back it up to show you guys because, I mean, Oklahoma City, 80 degrees, that's going to move into parts of Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, and that's where we're seeing the biggest severe threat as we head into Wednesday. Because look at this. Yeah. We're seeing Jackson, we're seeing parts of Alabama. Start to see those reds, those oranges there on the contour map, the colors, if you will. And that is what's going to give this storm system just enough juice to fire off some stronger, maybe even severe thunderstorms. So that's something that the Storm Prediction Center is watching very closely. We'll be watching very closely. Should this drift any far north, that threat, you'll be the first to know. Any questions about those severe storms, potentially severe storms? Would love to help out. All right, we got Molly. Hi, Molly. A beautiful Friday. I know it's stunning outside. Really soak it in. You just hold on to your hats, of course. I love snow. I've been asking Steve about snow since last June. Jeff, yeah. I mean, keep asking, because we'll also keep asking. Molly, maybe the groundhog is wrong. Spring is early. Hello from Pleasant Plain. I was just talking yesterday on 19atNOON about how I love Pleasant Plain. I went to school right down 28 in Goshen, at Goshen High School. I just love it up there. Northern Claremont County, shout out. All right. Any other questions? I mean, another thing about the groundhog, Molly, is he's coming for my job, and so the more that he's wrong, you get a thumbs up from me, so I'm not too upset about that. And then Sarah, hello, nice to see you. Jeff saying, I don't want any tornadoes. I lost my house to one, and I don't like them. I'm sorry to hear, Jeff, and yeah, I don't think anyone, I mean, no one likes to hear of devastation like that, of course, and that's why we're here, letting you know that middle part of next week. I'm not seeing anything that's sounding the alarms once again here in southwestern Ohio. That's far south of our viewing area entirely. I'm just saying that that is bringing in our next good chance of heavy rain, gusty winds, and of course that severe threat is non-zero at this time. Time now is 12:18. I want to show you what that storm looks like here on our first alert forecast model. I brought you all the way here to Tuesday. I'll full screen it for you guys. So here's what I'm talking about, or I was talking about. We're going to see the leading edge of this bigger system, that warm front, in the form of a little bit of rain. I'd argue that most of what you're seeing here on your screen is going to be light. You might not even notice it because we have such dry air coming into the days, or in the days leading up to Tuesday, that most of this is not really going to impact you much. I'd say towards the evening, I brought you to 8 o'clock Tuesday evening. That's when we'll notice the heavier showers pushing in. Yes, some rumbles of thunder possible. I'd say with the cold front passing on Wednesday, that's our day that we're kind of watching a little bit more closely. Here's 4 o'clock on first alert forecast model. Here's 9 o'clock on Wednesday. Notice that we seem to be in that spot in which, hey, we might see the rain lighten up, maybe take a little bit of a break before the heavy showers and even a little bit of thunder cannot be ruled out. But notice, I'll back this up a little bit. The line of thunderstorms, if you will, I guess I'll show you here, is far south of the area entirely. That's what I was saying. The threat of these stronger storms is seen farther south of the area where there's just more heat and a little bit more oomph to these storms, if you will. But if we see that trail any farther north, or if we see that timing shift at all, we could be looking at a little bit more of a stormy situation there for Wednesday. It's just not out of the question. It's just something we're watching. It's very well possible, right? Again, this is for March 5th, Wednesday of next week, so several days out from now. And then colder air moves in from behind, and it might just be so cold that we could catch a little bit of snow. Again, nothing too big for this snow. It's the backside of this storm. And I mean, I'd say the biggest thing moving past this storm would probably just be a little bit of that cooler temperatures. I do want to pull up that first alert extended forecast here in just a second. But first, I want to show you these rainfall totals. Again, for next week, it's nothing too substantial, but hey, 1.5 inches for our western counties. Yeah, you just can't rule it out. Connersville, Batesville, and Osgood. Here in Hamilton County, 1.5 inches. Claremont County and east, 1 inch of rain or less. Your typical thunderstorm system for spring is knocking on our door. We'll be watching over the next several days to get you guys through it, and should that threat for anything more concerning increase, you'll be the first to know. As of right now, no alarms are sounding in the First Alert Weather Center as of now. Just something to keep in mind and kind of watch, stay tuned over the next few days. Should be looking okay though by the end of next week. All right, let's get into that first alert extended forecast. Today is that first alert weather day for these gusty winds up to about 50 miles per hour. Can't be ruled out. Again, that's isolated. Most of us 40 miles per hour. Heading overnight into Saturday, look at those temperatures. They try to drop nearly in half. 61 to 32 in a matter of 12 hours for Saturday. Few flurries, still blustery, so the mid-30s that afternoon will feel like the mid-20s. We cool down even further Sunday morning. That'll be the coldest morning out of this 7-day forecast, with those lows dropping into the upper teens. And then, hey, those clear skies, well, it means cold temperatures for the overnights this weekend. It also means some nice sun for the afternoons. Sunday 39, Monday mid-40s, feeling normal, but as soon as we start to feel normal again, our next story becomes the active weather, our next storm system on tap for the middle part of next week. Again, leading edge on Tuesday. Wednesday's really going to be that impact day, if you will, in which we're watching for rain, could be heavy at times, thunder and gusty winds as temperatures come out of the low 60s that afternoon. All right. Any more questions in here? Hi, Caroline. Thank you so much for welcoming me into Fox 19. We'll have a nice, warm, sunny day without a lot of wind. I need to get outside and clean up the flower beds. Ooh, that's a good one. So while next week, I mean, you see it here, we're still in the low 60s. We're trying to get into the low 60s next week. We're still battling the rain, competing with the winds as well. So I'm not seeing anything in the immediate forecast, but there are signs, long-term signs, in which the middle part of March is looking a little bit better. So we'll see if that nudges up just a little bit further. Thank you so much for tuning in, Caroline. Kenneth, this up-down temperature thing is getting old. Yeah, our sinuses agree with that, by all means. All right, y'all, thank you so much for bearing with me this afternoon. This is fun. I'm happy to be here, and if you have any questions about this forecast, you know where to find us, by all means. We're happy to help you through the next couple of days, get you through this roller coaster of an extended forecast. But for now, go ahead and sign off of here. Thanks so much for tuning in this afternoon. Ethan Emery and Steve Horsemile will have the latest model data coming in later on Fox 19 now, so make sure you tune in and have a great rest of your day and your weekend. Happy weekend, everyone.